My name is Tiana Barnwell, and I'll be hosting this series. It's called Defying the Odds, presented by Greater Than Expectation. This gives people the platform to share their stories, to come out, to be interviewed by yours truly, and just put the word out there so people know about stories, so people know what everyone's going through, and just to let people know that it's okay to feel your emotions, it's okay to go through things and grow through things. So again, my name is Tiana Barnwell. I spent some time in foster care when I was in high school. I was in kinship care, so I was able to stay with my aunt. I was able to remain in my high school and kind of just go from there. I was able to go to Spelman College, and now I have a career at Goldman Sachs within the CIMD business. Today, I'll be talking with Katrina Thomas. This is a young lady who ran away from her adopted family at the age of 16. She's lived on her own since then. She figured out a way to put herself through high school, to put herself through some college. She was able to educate herself on credit, on saving methods and investments to make sure she had somewhere to go and she would never be stuck. So today, based on everything that she was able to teach herself, she has been able to be debt-free before the age of 30. She's looking at investment property. She's looking at starting her own business. And I would love to welcome Katrina Thomas.
Hey, Katrina. Hi.
How are you doing this wonderful evening?
I am great. I am super nervous. So, can you see me okay?
Yes. Can you hear me? I can hear you. I can see you. You look great. The hair looks amazing. Curls are defined. So I want to start off by thanking you for taking the time for sitting down and for talking to us. And I want you to kind of introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am Katrina Thomas, as you already know. I'm 29, 26 days before I turned 30. So this was all part of my plan to do something great and to finally tell my story before I turned 30, because I've been so secretive about that part of my life. Like, the only people that really knows about my story is maybe 5 people and they're all close friends or they're considered family now. So like, as you stated, I was in the foster system. My mom gave me up for adoption, and we knew, I knew. She set me down, she talked to me, and it was more so something she knew she couldn't handle taking care of us, so she did what was best for us at that time. So, and I always respect my mom for that. I don't look at her any type of way for that. I actually thank her for that, because I would rather her had made that decision rather than putting us through that pain, that headache. And so I've been in the system since like maybe 6 or 7, up and into adult. In and out of foster homes, got adopted, ran away from the adopted family at 16, lived with my older brother, and we basically just took care of ourselves. I was 16, he was 20, and we were literally kids raising ourselves. And from there, just from like life experiences, going through it through school, arguments, fights, people don't know why I'm angry. And it's just like, I had so much, but you can't tell that to kids because they use that against you. So, it just really been me and my brother. And by me going through so much and going through that, it was just like, listen, I can't live like this. So I literally use what I've been through as a fuel, a fire. Like, no, I got to make it. No, I can't be that statistic. I can't be a statistic of the negative. If I'm going to be a statistic, it's going to be of the positive. Like, oh my God, you've been through that and you made that. Absolutely. You know what I mean? So that was more so of my mentality and more so of my goal. Like, growing up, I've always been a go-getter. I've always been a savior as far as like saving money and preparing for the future. And again, it's because growing up, I had absolutely nothing. But you wouldn't know looking from the outside in, because I faked it. I faked it for so long. Literally my whole life, I faked it. And It was just like, and it was like a good fake though, because it's like I can't show no weakness. You know, when you're in the system, you have to be strong. You have to defend yourself. And it's just like, girl, I had to do it. I had to prove a point to society. I had to prove a point to myself. I had to prove a point to the different families I live with, or the family that I did live with. It was just like a point had to be proven. Like, listen, I can do it without you. And that was just my mentality. You know what I mean?
Okay. So you spoke about foster home to foster home and even being adopted. So why don't you talk to me about your experience in foster care within the different foster homes and even adoption?
So with the different foster homes, it was challenging. I was young, my older brother more so can recall a lot of the events as far as like foster care to foster care homes. It was challenging. Thank God, they kept me and my older brother together because, in certain situations, they do split the children away and you don't know anyone, so me and my brother always been together, so that I'm grateful for that. I'm very grateful for that.
I'm glad you had someone, because there are so many kids that are going through things alone, and you were able to have your brother, somebody that you actually knew, not a friend you made in the system, not just someone that just popped up randomly. It was actually your brother. So that's great. And thinking back to when you were younger and when you were in care and going from foster home to foster home, what did you need in that moment? What's some advice that your younger self could have used?
Girl, my younger self could have been like, Trina, stay calm, stay relaxed, stay positive. Everything's going to be okay. That would have been something I told myself.
No, I definitely understand that. And clearly you've done an amazing job, you and your brother raising each other to see who you are today. Let's talk about something on a positive note. Let's talk about these investment properties. Let's talk about how you became debt free.
Thanks, both Jessicas, both my friend Jessicas are online. They just told me they proud. Thank y'all. Y'all know I'm a gangster, so I normally don't cry. So
I got to shift to something a little more positive for you. Talk to me about how you became debt free and what prompted you to learn investments and money and saving.
Oh yes, I love talking about this. So what prompted me to be debt free? And so when I was 25, like when you're 25, you're supposed to have everything together. You just got done with college, or you just learning your way. So at 25, I went like through this midlife crisis, like, oh my God, I'm 25. What am I going to do? Mm-hmm. So I set a goal, like, listen, before I turn 30 or by my 30th birthday, I want to be debt free. So I already had spoke this into existence at 25. So I started working for the bank, and it's so crazy because when I was younger, I remember going into the bank with like one of my foster mom, and I was like, oh my God, I really want to work at the bank. Like, for some reason, that been my dream job. I don't know why. I just like, oh, money. I want to see how they work money. I want to see how it's made. Mm-hmm. So that's my younger self telling like, oh, that's what I want to do. So when I applied to work for the bank and I got this banking job, I was like so freaking excited. I was like, oh, I got my dream job. Yes, I'm about to be working with billions, not knowing like you really don't work with billions. But that was like my dream job. So when I got into the bank, I tell my bank manager this to this day. I call him my dad, my bank dad, my work dad. His name is Kevin. He worked at Citizen Bank in Rochester, New York, in Ridgemont Plaza. So y'all go see him and set up an account. He's amazing. But I literally tell him to this day, it's because of him I know everything I know about finances, saving, credit. He was one of those managers that's like, hey, I can't have my staff encouraging people to save and do this and open accounts. And, you know, if y'all not doing it, you know, so to this day, every country I go to, I make sure I call him and I make sure I bring him and his whole family a souvenir. And, you know, like I make sure I bring his whole family something. And it's literally because of him I am where I'm at with the credit, with the finances, with investments. And it was that banking job that got me there. Yeah, for sure.
That's amazing. I'm glad that he was able to kind of put that into his staff. So taking some of the tips that you've learned, you know, in care, they're so focused on college readiness, and there's not a lot of courses for saving and what to do with your money and what to do with that additional refund check. So what about for the young individuals in foster care right now, or even the young individuals that just don't know how to save? What could you tell them right now?
So what I would suggest to the kids in foster care or just anybody in general will be, first thing first, add up literally all your finances that you have. I mean, everything from your hair appointments to your nails to the Netflix. Literally add that up into your monthly expenses. And once you have the total on that, then you're able to calculate that with what you make monthly, and you'll be able to see how you're able to maneuver and save. Or if you're unable to do that, just put up at least $50 every 2 weeks, have it come out of your check automatically, go into a secret account. That's another good idea to do. Yeah. Those are some of the things that I still do. You know what I mean?
I see Karen is taking notes. Yeah, we definitely need to take notes. But so you said that only 5 people knew about your experience. So is there a reason that you kept it a secret? Was it just, you know, something that you held close to yourself?
It was a little bit of both. It was something I definitely held close to myself because I'm a type of person, I don't like nobody to have a pity party for me. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Let me help. No, help me because you want to do it, or help me because you like, okay, this girl worked hard for it. Let me help. Let me invest in her, or let me do what I could do to help. You know what I mean? I don't want you to help me because I was a foster kid and because I went through what I went through. Mm-mm. So it was more so of both. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then the reason why I only told 5 people is like, they was close. Like my best friend, she literally knows everything. Then my college best friend, she knows everything. And it was just like, as long as I got my 5 people, I'm good.
Yeah. All you need is your circle. That's all you need. So you're mentioning college. Tell me what it was like to go into college, to put yourself into college at that point. Because, you know, certain foster care programs have that college readiness and SAT prep and all of that. But did you have that, or because you were on your own?
That is so freaking tricky. So I graduated high school. That was awesome. I went off to Chicago, to Northwestern College in Chicago. And that was a big shocker that I even got into Northwestern because you know your history, you know Northwestern like 2% African American. And so that was like that was shocking for me. I was like, whoa, what? I got Northwestern. You know, so it was more so one of those things. And that was really tough because my situation was when I ran away from my adopted family at 16, you know, it was a battle in custody between my 20-year-old brother and me. So they like, well, how can a 20-year-old support a 16-year-old? So they end up doing something like a joint custody. And the agreement was for my adopted family to continue to the money that they were getting for me to go into like an account. So when I go to college, it would be given. Mm-hmm. Obviously that didn't happen. So when I got to college, they was like, well, we need your by it being a joint custody, we can't use your brother income. We have to use your foster mom income. Mind you, I have no contact with them. You know, ran away, and that was really hard. Like, they couldn't do nothing for me. I didn't qualify for anything. At first I did, but then once they got the story and I had to write letters, I had to go down to the city hall to get court papers and prove it, and nothing ever happened. So it was one of those situations like, okay, I'm 18 in college trying to get through, and I didn't have no money at 18. So at that point, I had to drop out of college.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I had to drop out of college after completing I completed about a year of college. And then I had to drop out. So then and again, that's because of the whole, they didn't know who really had custody of me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So once I turned 21, I put myself in college, because by this time I'm an adult. Y'all can use my own income. I'm broke. Give me some financial aid. What can y'all do for me? and that's how I went about that. And yeah.
Yeah, no, at 21, they got to give you all the financial aid. There's nobody.
I was so happy I turned 21, because that was a headache they weren't trying to help me.
I completely understand it. Financial aid doesn't help anybody. They just give you enough money to buy maybe a pack of gum, maybe a bag of chips. That's about it. But speak on the same topic of college, are you aware that only 3% of students in foster care go on to graduate from four-year universities and colleges?
I am aware of that. That was actually one of my projects that I did in college about the foster system. Yes, I am aware of that, and that was one of my goals, to be a part of that 3%. Because it's like, they make it so hard. Everybody think when you're in the system, you're taken care of by the state, or you're taken care of by families that really care, and it's the total opposite. They want the money, and that's it. They don't care about you.
They want the money, and that is it. For so many people, it's just about the money. And there are so many, just a plug here to everyone watching, there are so many ways for people who aren't interested in money to kind of help us raise that number from 3% to far beyond. We're talking 70, 80, 90. You can sign up to be a CASA. You can sign up to volunteer with foster kids. You can do all of that, whether it's helping them with college papers or tutoring them, or even just sitting in court with them. There are so many options that you have to give back to this community, because it is necessary. As I said before, only 3% of this population is going on to graduate from college, and we do want to increase that. Can you tell me about your project?
So it was one of those projects that you got to choose what you wanted to write about, and you have to show data and proof and all that good stuff. And I was like, why not show proof or educate my class too? Like, hey, I'm a foster care / adopted survivor. Let me share the light on you, because it was like I said, I went to Northwestern. It was a lot of privileged children there. And it was like, let me just share some light on my life, on how hard it was for me to get here. Granted, I got accepted in Northwestern. I don't think I was good enough with Northwestern. I was shocked. Okay, I was shocked. And it was like, what? Northwestern? But it was more so like me educating my peers, because I think that they were totally privileged. And I just wanted to share that. And then once I shared, the statistics and the proof and the data, and it opened a lot of their eyes. So it was a pretty fun, and it was close to home for me to do a project.
Yeah, I definitely try. I shied away from everything regarding foster care in college. I think, of course, my friends from high school knew, and then like my best friends at Spelman knew, but it wasn't just this big known thing until my senior year of college. But I wanted to stay away from it. But once I realized that statistic, and once I realized that Black kids, period, are placed into foster care at much, much, much higher rates. I mean, higher percentages than their white counterparts. That really kind of drove my passion for foster care and wanting to shed light to this situation and shed light on everyone and their stories. There's a study that was done, and doesn't matter if your social worker is white, Black, Asian, Hispanic. If you are Black, their one motive is to remove you from the home rather than rectify the situation as they would do with a white counterpart, or even in some cases Hispanic counterparts. Their end goal is to remove the Black child from home, because they feel as though removing that child is always going to end up being something extremely great for that child. They just assume that removing them from their parent, from the hood or wherever they live, and taking them to another spot is going to be super amazing and this big blessing. And they feel like they're playing, Captain Save a Child, when in all honest reality, most children undergo more trauma in the system than they did while they were at home. They were removed from their home maybe because they didn't have hot water, and now they're placed into a situation where they're sharing a room with 18 kids, or they're in a situation where, similar to yours, where people are doing things for money rather than their love of the kid. So what's your take on removing Black kids from their homes?
Whew. I have so many thoughts and concerns pertaining how they treat brown and minorities in the foster system. I hate to sound like this, but I absolutely, if it can be prevented on children going, brown or minority children, and going into the system, if you know somebody or if you got a good friend or a family, just give them to them. Because the system is not made for brown people
At all.
I hate to sound like that, and I'm so sorry for anybody that's not brown that's listening to this, but it's the truth. It's not for brown people. It's not for minority. We get the bottom end. We're like, I just don't recommend it. If you feel like you're in a situation where you cannot take care of your children or you cannot provide their needs for them, please reach out to a close friend, a close family member, and let them take care of them. I would rather them be with family than with complete strangers. And yeah, I don't recommend it.
I definitely agree.
I hope I answered your question. I tried to be.
No, you answered it. You definitely answered it. No, you definitely answered it. But yeah, I completely agree. I completely agree, because it's so difficult seeing, especially on the adoption side, not even on the foster care side. There's, once you hit that certain age and you look like me, there's not really any chance for you. And I think the ages for Black kids is, I think it's 7. You're not really going to be adopted after 7, especially if you're a Black little boy. But, kids of other colors are desired and they're wanted, and whether that's adopting or fostering, and even going into how people are treated. They believe that sending the little boy from the Bronx up to White Plains in a big house with a white family is going to do him justice. But
yeah,
no. But do you have any positive experiences from being in foster care?
Yes, I do. I honestly think, as hard as it was growing up in the foster system, and I tell my brother this, and my mom, and my biological mom, this all the time. Like, I'm so grateful that I went through what I went through. I'm so grateful for that. One, because I look at my surroundings and I looked at some family members and biological family members, and I see, because I'm from Chicago, and I see like, hey, they were raised by real blood, real family, and they don't have really too much of anything, which is okay. But here I was raised by strangers, and then pretty much raised myself, and I'm calling strangers and my friends my family.
Yeah.
And I was able to use my pain to be successful, or to try to be successful to the best of my ability, as a motivator, rather than using what I've been through as an excuse to be a problem to society, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? I wasn't one to use what I've been through as an excuse, or no. So for me, the whole experience was a positive experience. I don't consider any of it a bad experience, because it made me who I am. It made me a go-getter. Who's to say if I was raised by my real family, I'd be a go-getter. I'll be sitting back. Probably had 10 kids. No offense to people that got 10 kids, but probably had 10 kids. No, I don't want that. I want to be a millionaire by 35. So and I feel like I'm setting myself up for that. So instead of having a pity party for myself, instead of weeping and blaming, playing the blame game, no. Everything I've been through was positive. Everything. I don't hold anybody accountable for it. I appreciate everything they did. I appreciate every negative thing they did. Every negative thing they said. I appreciate it, because that made me go get it. It made me do what it do. It made me be a part of the positive statistic rather than that negative statistic.
Yeah,
so the whole thing was positive. Hope that answered.
No, yeah, that's a great answer, to actually make your entire experience positive. That's absolutely amazing. Your struggles truly are your building blocks to success if you choose to use them like that, rather than just, laying at the end of the path. All right, as I know we're coming up on 30 minutes, guys, please stay with us. I do want you to let me know why you believe that this platform is something important for Foster alumni to have.
So I 100% believe Greater Than Expectations is a great platform, because one, there isn't anything to this very day, there isn't any organizations that's 100% for foster or adopted children. There isn't anything. And I know this firsthand from experience, searching, looking for somebody that been through the same thing as me, that can relate, that I can tell my secrets to, and someone that truly cares, that not about money. So for me, Greater Than Expectation checks off everything that I was looking for as a child. And I stand by it 100%. It checks off every single thing.
That's so amazing. Greater Than Expectations, guys. Check them out. Go to the website, greaterthanexpectations.org. Check out the Facebook page. Just look at all the great work they're doing in the community. Think like this is a new organization. It's already doing so many great things like this. This web series and giving out college baskets to kids who don't really have anything. The link is plugged in right now, and I do want to take this time and thank everyone for joining. Thank you so much, Katrina, for choosing right now to share your story. I know your birthday's in 29 days or 26?
5 days, girl.
You'll be 30 in 25 days, and you're already debt free. And I already know that you'll accomplish that great goal of being a millionaire before you're 35. So thank you so much. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. And you enjoy your day. And you're the bomb too. You're awesome. I can't wait to tell somebody to Google me.
Shameless plug, guys. You can go ahead and Google Tiana Barnwell. You know, just
yes, promote yourself. Yes.
All right, guys. Everyone have an amazing night. Thank you so much for joining.
Thanks, guys. Bye.